Professor M. Mala, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the Jerusalem College of Engineering, Professor Ramalingam, a Principal, members of the Governing Council of the Jerusalem College of Engineering, the Deans and the heads of the department, faculty and the staff of the college, the graduating students of the 2018 batch, parents, family members, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I am very delighted to be here to address the graduates on the occasion of the 19th Graduation Day. I wish to express my sincere thanks to the Chief Executive Officer and the Principal for inviting me amidst you this morning. It's a great day for the graduating students, for their proud parents and the faculty members who have collectively provided all the support and the mentorship in realizing these wards' ambitions and aspirations. My hearty congratulations and best wishes to the graduating students and all the prize and the medal winners. On a day like this, on a graduation day, I am supposed to talk to the students, and in general, I know that I'm not going to talk to you about all the science and engineering that you have studied, but I will use this occasion perhaps to use a few minutes of my time to share my thoughts and based on my insights that I have gained over the years in my own research, in founding the institutions, in the governance of the institutions, and how the public life should be. And I wish to present also, I want to use this occasion to present the kind of opportunities and the challenges that are ahead of you, and the role that you can play in making a difference to the society and the people around you in your professional life as well as outside of your professional life. You all young graduates and the postgraduates who are passing out from this institution with very great pride and ambition have observed all the fundamentals of engineering, science, technology, and acquired experimental and communication skills during your stay of 4 to 5 years in this institution. I can notice that one when I inaugurated the robotics lab, the kind of a creativity and talent that resides in you, when I saw that one, the second year, third year students designing various kinds of robots for several applications, which includes, which could be detecting the mines and learning processes and all. It very clearly shows that this institution has provided you a greater opportunity to acquire all the talents and you to become so creative that at this stage itself during your studies you have shown your creativity. So you must make sure that this creativity continues in the rest of your life and use that one for the betterment of the society, which include yourself and your families and the public. And after your graduation, I know several of you will be taking up placements, and many of you are pursuing higher studies both in India and abroad. Now, there exist immense opportunities to pursue your ambitions, since especially in higher studies, since the government of India has established large number of technical institutions, what we call the centrally funded technical institutions, like large IISers, IITs, and other institutions, and where you can have access to the higher education for all the things that you would like to pursue. And I also know that some of you must be aspiring to take up jobs in a variety of sectors, both in the private and the public sectors, and this needs a skill. Some very often these industries look for skills, and definitely you can acquire these skills in the various skilling programs that the Government of India has launched, both this Government of India and the state governments have launched in different disciplines. So what you need, apart from your domain knowledge, whether it's a computer science, biomedical engineering, you also have a need to have a right kind of an attitude, mindset, and soft skills, and passion. Basically, you must have a passion. That passion must continue for you, all of you, to excel and pursue and realize your ambitions. Not only these days, it's jobs that you take up or the higher studies you take up, you also need to get into the entrepreneurship mode through the various startup modes and all. Otherwise, where you can become at least some of you can become job providers, employment providers in your own way. Doesn't matter that when you take up a startup, it's possible that you go through a lot of difficulties. But this startup culture is very new to our system, our Indian system, especially in the educational system in colleges like this. So you should not hesitate in moving forward and learning all the nitty-gritty of starting up startups. But if you pursue the things relentlessly, I'm sure that many of you should be able to successfully to have your own startups and help your friends and other engineering graduates to take up these positions in your startups, and provide them an incentive to show to exhibit their talents. And through startups, we can be a part of the solution to the many of our problems which our Indian society is facing today. And one of the unique thing is your generation, unlike my generation, have a very outstanding opportunities, and you are all born when the country's economy is opening up and the country was embracing the globalization and liberalization, and unlike our generation where the growth rate was about 2%, where your generation is witnessing a very high growth rate like 7% and above. And this makes a lot of difference for your aspirations to be realized. In addition to that, you all have come into existence after the discovery of the internet, World Wide Web, and very many novel and communication technologies have emerged. And all these technologies which have emerged during your lifetime, which have emerged after your birth, have made very significant changes in the life. And these changes which these technologies have brought out has affected every one of us, including you, your parents, grandparents, all your friends, in every sphere of activity. It has significantly changed our way in which we live. And all these things are inevitable. These changes that are brought out by the technology are inevitable, and these changes are very often very unprecedented. And in fact, all these changes are beyond all our expectations and imaginations. And all these changes are reshaping the way we live, where we work, where we communicate, and not only on here but also elsewhere in the world. These technological innovations have brought in amazing medical breakthroughs, newer and affordable medical devices, newer materials, emergence of the nanotechnology, new sensors, which I noticed today in the Robotics club, which has been used in one of the robots, and newer and multifunctional appliances, and lots of other comforts and benefits to all of us. All these things have been made possible because of our better understanding of the science, the rapid strides made in the engineering and technology through disruptive technological innovations. However, though these path-breaking innovations may many more society-centric benefits need to be realized, still, I urge all of you to be partners in these innovations and join the mainstream of the techno entrepreneurs. It could be in any way, it could be in any field of activity of your learning. It could be in the area of drug delivery, intelligent manufacturing, signal processing, development of a new algorithm in the computer science, new imaging techniques in the biomedical engineering, service delivery, and new tools of measurements, the diagnosis of the crop diseases, which some of the remote sensing people are doing here, renewable energy, harvesting, affordable health care, new and efficient medical devices, enabling technologies for cognitive learning and e-governance, and many host of other activities. All your learning and talents should be made use of. I would like all of you to be a part of the solutions in addressing some of the formidable challenges of our country. Presently, all these things are aided by the power of internet, which provides the greatest opportunity for innovations. Of course, with all these spectacular and grand achievements that you have been witnessing in harnessing, which you have seen when we have harnessed the science and technology for improving the quality of the life of all the people across the nation and the society, still many more bigger and very crucial challenges are confronting us, confronting our civil society, and there is a imperative need to address all these challenges to head on. And these challenges are many. What are these challenges? If I have to say, I'll just take a few minutes. The challenges based on the population growth, our needs and desires are expanding, while at the same time natural resources are dwindling due to their indiscriminate and reckless exploitation. The larger question of sustaining the civilization with limited resources and through technological innovations becomes inevitable. Although there are many things to tackle, there are many very crucial things. Old and new threats are including the dengue, chikungunya, and other virus and mosquito generated diseases, and in addition to the personal and public life security and health demand. All these things requires a very affirmative action in terms of a very effective and affordable treatment of finding a healthcare needs. You have seen these vulnerabilities to the pandemic and lifestyle diseases, terrorist violence, and large-scale natural disasters requires very serious searches for new methods of production and prevention. So there is a need to develop new sources of renewable energy, which is affordable and safe to use, while at the same time reversing the degradation of the environment. Limiting the greenhouse gas emission and mitigating the ill effects of the climatic change is one of the formidable challenges confronting our human society. Providing access to the safe and clean drinking water, the robots, which I saw in the morning, including the safe handling of a massive municipal waste and electronic waste, particularly in the metropolitan cities, has been challenged to all the scientists, technologists, and city administrators. So with the advent of the internet, we are deeply concerned with the also matter of privacy. You have seen that one, the cyber security issues, and around many of our day-to-day transactions, how much security we need, especially in preventing the cyber crime, as well as the intrusion such as virus and spams that we every day see in the computer system. So the knowledge that you have gained all over the years, in the last 4 years, the skills you have acquired over the years, your own innate imagination, enthusiasm, intuitive power, the creativity that you have, should be utilized in finding solution to all these, at least many of these daunting challenges. So, in this midst of all these issues, life is always about getting inspired and motivated to achieve the new heights and accomplish new goals. It is not merely intelligence or the brilliance. It is almost, as Thomas Alva Edison has said, it is the 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. This is true from the early days. It is true now also. Sometimes life gives you opportunities that all these opportunities turn the course of your career, your path in life, and into a very dramatically different. Appeal all of you to set always higher goals, dream really a big, and experience the joy and the satisfaction of giving your best to realize all these goals that I mentioned. Whatever the technological solutions you are employed, you are involved, whatever the innovations that you will be doing, startups, but one thing is certain, especially for the younger generation, which is important, that you must always stick to the very high. What we are witnessing is because I want to compare where we are, where the advanced countries, how the life in the advanced countries different from us. You may have all the comforts of all the countries that you have been seeing, but one thing that distinctly different is you are unable to adhere to the process and regulations and procedures. This is a very distinct change, has brought out a distinct change. That is how all the developed countries, they live very peacefully, and there's no turmoil. There's a greater level of trust between the government and the people, the bureaucracy and all. But that is what you see, that what is a slackening in the last 30-40 years because of this our attitude of what you call the so-called adjustment, compromises. Please, you youngsters especially, when you take up a professional job, I have seen this one at the highest level, you please don't compromise on the values that you have learned, the rules and regulations that you have to follow, and this is very important. No matter with whom you work, we must be very candid in these aspects. Only when we do this one, you can have a very called a sustainable society, a trustworthy society that is working, society which can be, trusted, where everyone trusts every other things, and that we can move on and build a very better and peaceful and prosperous society to all of us. I am talking to you these things because I have witnessed over last several years, sitting in the Delhi and other places, when I was governing the various institutions, participating in the various committees. Perhaps some of the things that I would like to bring to your notice, what I have noticed, and you can think about it, how to eliminate these things, how to make the society better. And for this, I would like to cite few examples, glaring contradictions that our society is witnessing today in all fronts of life. We all know that these glaring contradictions and paradoxes, which we all embrace very politely and silently, accept it without murmuring, without talking about it, silently. But we talk it in private, but in the public we all keep quiet in the meetings. We recognize these contradictions, we accept them, we swallow them in a very routine manner. We don't do enough either individually or collectively to mitigate these contradictions. I will tell you what are these contradictions. These days, there's a greater tendency on the part of our administrators and in our country to sweep these vexed and contentious issues and sustainability issues under the carpet as though it's of no value. I'll just give you a few examples. We always pride about ourselves, our technological innovations, our billions of telephones, mobile phones, and our many other things that soft power in the country, in the world. But if you look at the picture, I'm not painting you very doomsday. I'm very optimistic, but you must look at the real problem, real issues, in terms of the real data which exists today, and we must accept it and see how we can change that one. In fact, India ranks on Forbes on the list of billionaires in the world. However, very high on the list of billionaires. Maybe, in fact, in the Indian ranks the highest among the Asian billionaires. Yes, in fact, one of our billionaires has surpassed even the Jack Ma and become the greatest wealth creator. But if you look at the picture, India ranks 130 with a score of 0.609 in the UNDP Human Development Index. And in contrast to this one, the countries like China, which has houses people like Jack Ma, and countries like Guatemala have ranked number 90 and 128 with a score of 0.9 and 0.627 respectively. Although India has transformed itself from the begging bowl to the bread basket, however, as per the 2017 Global Nutrition Report, you can see it's reflected in the everyday life in this Indian society. So only you, our generation, and your future generation like you youngsters can look into it and see the remedial action to be taken. So the only way to do is make sure that things work accordingly as per the process and procedures. That's all I would like to say. But when you involve all these things, okay, all this, there are many such data available with me to share with you. We can take a pride on one side. You know, India has become, in fact, we have become a food exporters, but still we notice, we hear people dying out of the starvation or malnourishment. It is a very common, very routine thing that is happening, and collectively we are not doing anything for that one. So finally, I would like to take a few minutes of time. Please think about it. Leading a purposeful life. What is the purposeful life? Is life, you all, I know that all the graduates here, many of you taking up a very high various positions in a various multinationals, you know, earning lots of money. But just earning money is not a success. It is not just earning tons of money, occupying a very powerful position. Position should be used for betterment of the society, not just to exercise your powers, to show your what you call, you know, how you can display your power only for certain undesirable purposes, rather than the purpose for which the power has been vested in you to create a better society. So life is not just living in a palatial buildings and leading a very opulent life. It is all how you make a difference for your neighbors and fellow citizens. How you can take action against the injustice, against the malpractices, against variety of the society deals you are seeing every day. It is reflected in our altruistic actions and life you lead. It is important to recognize that God has sent all of us here on this earth for a purpose. We all need to move from this I and me centric mindset and think of contributing our might to the progress of our nation and to the benefit of the society. We all need to stand as a shining example of upholding the highest level of professional integrity and ethical values in the society. We need to draw inspirations from the great personalities, great role models, not only in India, across the world, including Rabindranath Tagore, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, Homi Bhabha, Ramanujam, and many scientists like other scientists like Einstein, Edison, Faraday, and people like that. So our lives and preachings must set examples of noble values so that our future generations remember through ages for what we give to the society, what we established, the norms of the society, what systems and the process we place in, and how you inculcate people to adhere to those processes and procedure. This is what distinctly different in countries like other advanced countries. If you take any country in Europe, Switzerland, take in the Nordic countries like Norway, take our India recently developed countries like Singapore, any countries, you know, there's a way that they lead their life. There's always things, do's and don'ts have been strictly told by the parents, and these people strictly adhere to. So our lives and preachings must set examples of noble values so that our future generation must remember. At the end, I would like to quote, "We make living by what we get, but we make life but by what we give. So I once again congratulate all of you and wish you all the best in all your endeavors. So thank you very much. Jai Hind and God bless you.
Now, let the candidates will be presented by the respective HODs.
Banupriya M, 22nd rank. Sasi Rekamashi, 23rd rank. Agalya V, 26th rank. Sindhu P, 28th rank. Rajeshwari T, Revati S, Sandhya S, Sai Sandil S, Neraimadi M, Shiny Angelin P, Jaychandar R, Hariharan A, Mustaq Ahmed, Dhanashri Balakrishnan, Shalini K, Abhinaya S, Hema Devi N, Lavanya B, Preeti R, Arulmuli S, Divagar T, Subhashri G, Divya Lakshmi S, Geeta Priya M, Jennifer Nisha A, Ponshweta D, Christina Margareta S, Ganga Devi R, Jayashri K, Palarasi J, Varadarajan M, Jagadish M, Maria Ronisha L.A., Sumati H, Venkatesh R. Thank you.
Respected Principal, I present unto you the candidates in person in the Department of Civil Engineering who have been certified. S. Sindhya, who also scored University 8th rank. Annie Teresa, Sudarsanan, R. Swarna Lakshmi, R. Muthukumar, K.P. Vigneshwaran, C. Aishwarya, L. Sujitra, B. Simogan, P. Pavitran, Jose Ronaldo, R. Raghuraman, R. Veerabhadran, P. Sinu, Badombong,